guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I decided to do a video. Oh, bye Lucy. Okay, so I kind of wanted to catch you guys up on everything that's been happening with our IVF journey and basically what we're going through, and kind of explain what's happening, because I know IVF can be very confusing to people who are not going through it and they're just kind of on the sidelines just seeing. Okay, so first off, let me just start saying that IVF is such a hard procedure and process and treatment. It's kind of like a waiting game of just constantly waiting and then being ready and then waiting and then finding out more stuff. It's a very hard treatment, but it's so worth it in the long run, because you're gonna get a perfect little baby out of that, your little rainbow miracle baby, and it is so worth it. It's not the old-fashioned way of making your little baby, but the thing is that it doesn't matter, because maternal instincts and everything maternal is just beautiful. So I'm so excited for this to actually happen. We had sent our embryos to do genetic testing, because after they, so you get your eggs from the egg retrieval, and then you get your partner and his specimen, and they combined it in a lab, and they started watching these eggs and sperm combined basically turn into embryos. And they watch these embryos underneath a microscope in an incubator in a little dish, and they watch them literally grow each day to make sure they have 2 dividing cells, which means they are a normal, embryo. They're proceeding normally. So they watch these embryos grow to make sure that's how many embryos you're having, because they don't want to put any bad embryos or that could carry on to a miscarriage or anything like that put back into you during your transfer. So we had first egg retrieval. It didn't go so well. My left ovary wasn't producing any eggs that were mature, so that was quite a process, and I think we only got 7 eggs, and then I want to say only 2 of them proceeded to be embryos. So we paid $5,000 for genetic testing, which is super important. I know a lot of people don't do genetic testing on your embryos, but it is an important factor if you have been miscarrying, or you have other problems with pregnancies. So we decided to do the genetic testing, get that done. So we did our second egg retrieval, and I had a quicker healing time. It was better that time. They put me on Minipure, which helps my ovaries stimulate more eggs and have a better response. So from my second egg retrieval, I believe we got, I think they got 19 eggs, and then I think we had 15 proceeding to be embryos, and then it dropped down to 12, I believe. So we paid for 8 embryos to be sent to do genetic testing, PGD testing. That's kind of the best testing for embryos. And we sent them, and out of 8 of the embryos, 1 only came back normal. The others were abnormal. They were missing a chromosome. So that kind of just told us right there that the reason why I was having miscarriages, repeated losses, is because it was more of a genetic thing. And keep in mind, I don't have any family members that had infertility problems or genetic problems. So my doctor had explained to us that sometimes it just takes 2 people, when they get together, when you're trying to get pregnant, the spindles in the DNA don't line up, and it just misses that, and that's what could happen. So if they have 1 less chromosome, it would lead to that miscarriage, or a weak pregnancy. So that, in our case, is more of a genetic problem that we're seeing. So out of 8 of the embryos that we sent for genetic testing, we have 1 perfect embryo, and the other ones had gotten discarded. Usually, if you have other normal embryos, you can, pay a cryo fee and keep them in storage there. So we have 1 perfect embryo, and it's a boy. And it was really crazy looking at the paper they gave us, because we got to see how many were boys, how many girls. I believe 3 were boys, including the one that we're about to transfer, and then 2 girls, I believe. So it's crazy. And then also, I have been reading a lot from my IVF group and online that with IVF, you proceed to have more boys, apparently, which is crazy. I don't understand. But I was reading that, if the embryos are developing faster, like, and they're watching them, it's usually a boy. And I found that very interesting, that through IVF, more boys got, produced. So he is a 5AA embryo. That's how they grade them. So it's a day 5 embryo, and it's an AA, which is, one of the top grades for the embryos. So we are fingers and toes crossed that this works. But we have came over, the concept of, like, are we going to do IVF again if we want more kids, or, things just on the back burner to think about. And I would be totally down for doing IVF again, and trying to get more embryos in the meantime. It is such a hard process, but I have been so good with, consoling my partner, talking to him, letting him know how I feel. And the thing that's amazing, though, is that if we would have waited until later in our 20s to have kids, my doctor did say that it would be a lot slimmer chance than what we're doing right now and having right now. And I am literally so thankful that everything happens at a specific time in your life to show you. It's just crazy. It's very crazy and ironic, you could say. But yeah, so we have 1 perfect boy embryo, and we are transferring him February 5th. And that is in just, I believe, 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks. And we are so excited because it's been well over a year. We're ready for it. I've been doing every, folks tale there's been said, but literally I've been, eating warm foods, drinking warm drinks. You got to keep your feet warm, keep the blood flowing well. I've been going to acupuncture every week to keep that blood flow going. And they are a fertility place too, which is so great. I have the best acupuncturist ever. I get cupping done on my back. It just feels amazing. Just staying relaxed and staying positive during this time period, because that's the best thing you can do. So that's everything that's happening every week. And then I've been having appointments weekly for ultrasounds. So they measure the lining of your uterus each time that you come in, because your goal is 10 millimeters. And, after you have your cycle, before you start for the process of, your transfer, your FET, your Frozen Embryo Transfer, that's what FET means. So, your lining gets thin, and they have you on birth control, and then you get off the birth control, and you start Lupron, and that's a trigger shot. So they literally have, your cycle going, and your lining is thin, and then once that's over with, they want to start building up your lining. So they put you on estradiol, and that causes your lining to start getting thicker. And then you have to be more careful with things that you were doing. You have to be very careful, because you don't want to mess up the process. But I am right now at a 7.47 as of yesterday. That's what I was, Friday. That past Monday, I was a 3.87. So that was like more than a double. That was great. So they want you at like a 10 at least by transfer. And I'm just hitting the marks. I'm going to cross my fingers that we just keep hitting the marks and keep getting great, numbers for my lining. We are praying everything works. So yeah, so that's about it right now. And So the Frozen Embryo Transfer. She's playing with her toy. Lucy, what are you doing, baby? Okay, so look, she's like the star of the show. Is that your bat? Is that your bat? Boop. Okay, so yeah, so the Frozen Embryo Transfer, you have to show up. They put me down for 2 p.m. They start thawing your embryo, because your embryo is frozen in a cryo tank right now. They want them frozen. So when it's time to transfer, that's when you show up, and you have to have a full bladder. The reason why you have to have a full bladder, like, people are saying that you're gonna feel like you're gonna pee your pants the whole time, okay? They want to have a straight angle into your uterus, and then, you know, just to get, they have like a little like sucking tube, and they suck the embryo up through there, like a little catheter, and they go in and they place it really high up and embedded, and it just starts to embed itself, fingers crossed, and that's how, you know, you get pregnant with this process. So you have a embryo that, you know, you've created, and the doctors helped you, you know, create this little perfect embryo, and then it's time to put it back up in there, and they get you on all these medications to make sure you're going to have a healthy pregnancy, and just get you on the right steps of having a healthy pregnancy, I should say, because they want to increase all the chances and odds that you can have with this process. So I'm really nervous for that, because they said like you have to drink 48 ounces, and you got to get up on to, you know, their little, I don't even know what I call it, like little chair thing, I don't know. Anyways, so then you got to prop your legs open, and then that's literally, I've heard women say that it literally feels like you're gonna pee yourself when this process is going on, and I am so scared. I'm just like, oh God. So, and then you have to lay there for a little bit after they put the embryo in, and then you can get up and use the restroom, and I'm just like, oh God. I'm so excited, but it's the whole, like, almost peeing yourself type thing that I'm not looking forward to. But it's well worth it, well worth it. And then after that, you have to wait 10 to 12 days to take a pregnancy test, but you're gonna get your blood drawn then. You know, everybody's advised not to take at-home pregnancy tests because you can get a false positive, false negative. It's not something that you want. And after I do my transfer, a day after my transfer, I have to give myself an HCG shot, and I can't do an at-home test because it would give me a false positive, because that HCG in my blood from that would, you know, they do that shot for you to kickstart, you know, like letting your body know, hey, I'm pregnant, start producing for this, and that's the reason why they give you that shot. But you just can't you can't risk it. So I might test maybe the morning of my blood draw, just to kind of like ease my mind to let me know type thing. But other than that, I don't think I will do an at-home test. It's gonna be super hard not to, but I do not want to get my hopes up with any of that. I just want to be positive and make sure I'm getting accurate stuff. I mean, that's the best you can do. So yeah, so you do your 2 weeks wait, and then mine's actually 10 days after the 5th. So on the 15th, I go to Quest and I get my blood drawn, and they tell me it gets same day, you know, results that day, and I'm so excited. I'm so nervous. So it's kind of like a waiting game. Like I said, you wait some more, and then you do a process, and you wait some more. It's like a waiting game repeatedly with IVF. So after that, I think they follow up with your beta like a week later or something. I don't know. A lot of offices do it differently. And then I think a week or 2 weeks after your beta, which is the blood draw, they set you up for an ultrasound, and then you have your ultrasound, and then I'm fingers crossed and toes crossed that we get to have a beautiful beating heart, because that was one of the things that each ultrasound we went to, it just didn't end well, and we're just hoping everything ends well with this greatness, and just, you know, we're excited. So What else am I missing? So you have the ultrasound, and then after that, I think you stay with them for about up until 13 weeks, maybe. Some, like I said, some offices are different, but I know that you're on progesterone shots all the way up until you're 8 weeks pregnant. You continue all the medication, all the shots, just to ensure that you're still getting everything needed for your body with this pregnancy, and just to, kind of get you on your feet type thing. Right now we're on the estradiol, and I just got bumped up to 2 in the morning, 1 at night. I've been doing 1 in the morning, 1 at night, but they kicked me up this morning, and I'm gonna be on that for a while. And honestly, I feel like the worst. I'm having the worst headaches. Feeling very mood swingy a lot, which is terrible. I feel for Adam. Yeah. I take naps a lot. It's just like, it really affects, and I was like, it's really affected my body. I really hope these ultrasounds are going well. And then we went in yesterday, and it was like out of 7. I'm like, geez, no wonder why I've been feeling terrible. My hormones are like whoop, through the roof. Like, no wonder why. But yeah, so we are so excited. I just can't believe it's so soon. I'm so nervous, but so excited. And, I'm praying that this works. I'm hoping this works. We've kind of bounced with names, but we kept the names all along throughout the pregnancies. The boy name did switch. We first were gonna do, Luca, way back when, with our other pregnancies, and we kind of just switched it up, and we are gonna do, right as of right now, which we came to an agreement on, Emilio Matteo Lizana, and I absolutely love Emilio Matteo. Like, that is the beautifulest name ever. I love it. So we want to do something unique, because my name's kind of unique, and we just thought it would be pretty cool to do something like that. So yeah, so that's a little bit insight of IVF and what's going on. You can fuzz out. And this process is super hard. I've had a lot of people to lean on during this time, and during this time you're gonna want to have people to support you and lean on their shoulder, and because it is a tough time. It is a very hard time to go through this stuff, because like anything, it's just like a treatment. You are getting shots, you are getting surgeries, you are getting put on stuff. It is a different journey, but it is a journey to a beautiful destination, and I am so ready for it. So we ordered some transfer cupcakes the day before our transfer from our cake lady and our cupcake lady. She does the best work, and they're like cute little pineapple cupcakes and then shot cupcakes, and you'll see it on my Instagram, but it's so cute. And we're just trying to make this moment the lightest and most relaxing and happiness moment just right now that we can just do. I've had a lot of friends come to me and just be there for me, and it's amazing. And I've had a lot of family members come to me and be there for me. It's amazing too. I just went on my medical leave yesterday, so I'm off from the 22nd, I believe was yesterday, to the 15th. I should be returning back to work on the 16th, but I have this nice time period just to relax, go to my acupuncture, go for walks, do some light stuff, watch a lot of comedies. I've heard you need to laugh a lot during this time period. So I'm doing very light, happy things at this moment, and we're just looking forward to it. And we can't believe it's less than 2 weeks until, I think, 13 days. Who's counting? I'm counting. 13 days until this happens, and